talk about the iPad, and there's a new report, and this may just be a rumor. I'm not entirely sure, but I thought it was worthy of mentioning. But Microsoft could be coming to the iPad in the next few weeks.
What do you mean by that?
It means that you could, according to this, you will have the full Office suite. You will have Word, Excel, PowerPoint. You can not only create documents, but you'll also be able to edit them.
Can't you already do that in the cloud?
I don't know where would you do that exactly.
Didn't we talk about?
You talking about the SkyDrive or whatever they got?
No, I'm talking about that services they were. We talked about this like a year ago. They were talking about having these.
Like the SkyDrive.
I don't know what they call it, I guess.
I think it's like the SkyDrive, right? Where essentially you have
these
a
cloud
version of the document.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's kind of like what we have on our desktops, right? Or we have on our laptop. You have an actual Word application. Software has been installed on your machine. As a matter of fact, I was looking at Mike this past week. Last weekend. He had his Mac. And he didn't pay enough to get the Office suite, so we had to go only to Google Docs. But I can clearly see that the advantage of having the Docs on your iPad. You know, it's you can quickly write something or open something and edit it really quickly.
I got to tell you, man, for me, OpenOffice is the only way. I'm so done with Microsoft Office products unless you absolutely make me. There is nothing that Microsoft Office can produce that OpenOffice doesn't open and or edit, and it's free, and it's cross-platform already.
One of the things I've noticed though is that if you try to open up a Microsoft product, there's always going to be, to some degree, movement or changing of the format. If you try to open up a Word document that's not just words, but it might have some kind of structure to it.
I get that.
It changes, and it doesn't look as the original looks. And so I don't know, and I've watched Mike do this, is he always says, I opened this in Google Docs,
right, and
I can't guarantee it's going to look like it should. And clearly it doesn't.
And if you have very if you have micro pixel size, really, really important stuff, that's another good thing. Bob H. just put in the chat room. OpenOffice does not support the VBA macros. I don't think it's not. That's not a feature that I for which I hunger. But I know that has been a problem in the past. And but back to your point, OpenOffice has gotten better and better at opening stuff and making it look just identically like it appears in the Microsoft.
Does this work for PowerPoint too? Because PowerPoint even looks different.
Yes.
I mean, I appreciate what Google is trying to do, and I haven't used OpenOffice.
Yeah, OpenOffice is. I believe Java bought out OpenOffice, and truthfully, Bob H. back in the chat room, he said that's a killer if VBA macros don't work in OpenOffice. It could be that the latest version is doing that. I know that at least from the OpenOffice website. I'm not a big VBA guy, but I do read in their change log that is a legality that they were struggling with a year or so, maybe 2-3 years ago. It may very well be that at this point that has been resolved. I checked back with them. I checked back with them for 4 or 5 years because I liked the idea, and maybe 1 or 2 years ago I said, okay, I'm on it now.
Well, it kind of continuing in this story, so you'll be able not only to start and create a document or file from scratch, you can also edit a document, Excel file, PowerPoint presentation, whatever. But the question came up. He said, "Well, I see this is cool. You're going to go to the iPad, but what about Android?"
Indeed.
What's the plan for that? And according to this, they said they're going to pass. This is Microsoft now. We're going to pass on the Android version right now.
I could see that. I could see that those technologies aren't going to necessarily be. That's right. Bob is on it again. Lots of folks are moving to LibreOffice. That Sun bought OpenOffice. That's right. Just like they bought MySQL, so a lot of people are moving to LibreOffice.
Is that just a new name for OpenOffice?
No, I think that is a fork in the what was formerly completely open source project. I think.
Okay.
Again, don't hold me to a legal standard on that, but that's my understanding.
Gotcha. So
they're going to pass on Android?
Is what it says right now.
Why?
I don't know. I'm trying to understand why.
Why would they go? Why would they go to iPad and pass on the Droid? I mean, it seems like the reason for developing this product on the iPad would be so that it would have more universal acceptance in that market space, which they are clearly losing.
Well, I guess if you look at the tablet market right now, who's really dominating in the tablet market, and I would, without having the number right in front of me, my guess is that the iPad is clearly a dominant force here. And if it's anything like our space here at work, we don't have a lot of Android tablets here.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And then secondly, trying to get on the network through an Android device here is still a problem. And it seems like a lot of things have already sort of taken the iPad, the iOS, into its business practice.
Whether it's better hardware or worse hardware, it does seem like it is certainly got a leg up in the market penetration game, which,
right,
as we both know, is everything. There's no substitute for being first to the marketplace.
Right. Bob H says that maybe I should call in. Yeah, you should.
Man, come on down. If you got something to say,
yeah, absolutely. Don't hesitate.
This is a conversation. You can converse there, or you could call up and converse here.
It's totally up to you.
Yeah, so
it'll only take 30 seconds.
Yes.